Hello, everyone. Good night. Welcome, welcome. My name is Jermaine Lewis. If you're seeing me for the first time, welcome, guys, to another episode of Journey of an Online Business Owner. Tonight, I'm super excited. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Jermaine. My wife Simone and I are the owners of this business page. And we run a successful online business. And our goal is to help ambitious, hardworking parents just like ourselves, start and run their own successful online business. As I said, tonight, is I have another business owner, a fellow business partner on. Tonight, you're gonna hear her story. And we do this, guys. I try to do this just to help you, our viewers who are watching. You're seeing ads, you're seeing all of these people online talking about an online business. I do this just to help you to understand that we are real people, kind of get an understanding of where we were at some point in our lives. We saw an opportunity, and we jumped on board, and we're just sharing our journey, how it's been going, so far. And so tonight, my guest, Sonia, I'm super excited to hear her story, guys. She's just crushing it in the online space. I'm super excited. I'm looking forward, Sonia, to hear your story, and to share with our audience tonight. So go ahead and introduce yourself to those of who are going to be watching us.
Hi everyone, good evening. Oh wow, thank you so much for having me tonight. My name is Sonia. I'm a wife, I'm a child of God, I'm a mom of three adorable kids. Moving to Canada 2019, precisely, for the goal of the greener pasture. And we soon realize before the grass can be green, you have to really work to paint it green. And God being faithful, just 3 years into all the whole bustling, hustling, missing out in my family's life and losing the whole goal and the whole why of us moving, which is,
Mm,
for every parent, when you ask them, why do you have to make that journey? They tell you, oh, about my kids, the family. But I realized my life was more out there. My home was more like a mailing address. I missed out. I missed out and I missed out till my daughter called my attention one fateful evening. Usually, when we're coming back from work, we just want to go to bed, and that was always my dream. When I come back, I was just praying everybody should be in bed. So I would just sneak in, do my thing, and just rest. The next day, I wake up. But that evening, she asked me, Mom, if this how every other adult works, if this is it, I don't want to be an adult.
wow, wow.
So that's the starting point to the having a reality check.
Wow, that's the starting point of greatness, eh? When you have one of those, right? When your child come to you and said, "Man, if this is all it's all about, right? I don't want it, right?"
Yeah.
So let's dive right into the question, and continue on, and just, share with our audience, who's going to be seeing us, guys. And if you're going to see this, if you're watching this, guys, on the replay, comment and let us know, where you're watching from. We'd love to say, hi and connect with you. We're a global business, and we love to see, how global we are. So Sonia, share with our audience, what inspired you, to start your online business.
Oh wow. From that question, guys, that's what I posted because that question tormented my night. I couldn't sleep. Usually I just come back, pray, go to bed. I couldn't sleep. Like I thought about it and I prayed a simple prayer. I asked God to give me something, a way out, because I work 5:30 to like 12 hours.
Wow.
In my head, I was doing everything for my family. I was trying to support, I was trying to do stuff, I was buying toys, thinking that is the way forward. But that question touched on me and I cried lying down there. I couldn't sleep. Around 2 a.m., I just decided to put on a scripture on YouTube, to just watch scriptures, put it there to listen, to fall asleep. And this ad just came up talking about
Mm,
us. I'm like, wow, okay. And what kind of stood out for me is the fact that they have great faith. It took me time. It took me a while. I prayed and I asked God, like, what do I have to do? This, what I'm doing every time is not working. And it's it's crazy when you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I didn't
mhm,
have the time. I didn't have, like, all I wanted was freedom to be present with my child. I didn't know the teacher, nothing. It was just my husband doing most of the thing. And I asked God for a way out that night. And this ad just popped up. I thought about it. I prayed about it. I was skeptical, like that word. You guys have heard it a lot. We all have that in us. That's like our defense mechanism in the body telling us, just take it slow and stranger danger kind of.
Mm.
And that faithful, I just prayed. I told God, if this is it, just let these people respond to me, because I wasn't all satisfied watching just the video. I had to call them and they explain and tell me, take the leap of faith. If it does not align with your values, then it's not for you. Me watching the complimentary webinar and seeing families, like I just realized that we parents, we just wanted two things: the financial flexibility and time to be with our family, because there are no second chances in raising our kids. They
Oh.
can't be one forever. They are one today, they are two today, the next day they are teenagers. I'm like, there is more to life than all that we go about. And trust me, being on this journey has taught me a lot. The
Mm.
money is not the goal.
Mm.
Money is just the tool. The
Mm.
freedom is the goal. And that is what brought me thus far.
Well, inspiring story. Inspiring story. I'm pretty sure you're gonna inspire, our viewers watching. A mom of three, and it took one of her children, to say something that triggers, a deep thought, in her mind, and she prayed a simple prayer. Maybe you are watching. Maybe you're a mom. I don't know what it is, where you are, what stage you are in your life. We're just saying, we're real people, and this online business is working for us, is changing our lives. You're hearing Sonia's story, and I hope you are inspired. So the second question, uh, what were some of the challenges that you were faced with early on? So now you're inspired, you saw this incredible opportunity, you started it. What were some of those things in your beginning? In the beginning, did you question yourself? What did I get into? Was there doubt? Was there skepticism from friends, family? What were some of those challenges early in the business, Sonia, that you faced? And how were you able to navigate and overcome those challenges?
Oh wow. Like I said, the first thing that I was skeptical, the fact that when I realized all the business is about, I was giving excuses. Trust me, I went to my, even after praying, I had a peace. I still went to my husband, like, babe, it's online. Like, is this one? I was just trying to give all the excuses to tell me no. I said, are you comfortable for me with me being out there? Like, what do you think? And normally when I tell my husband something, he might just play around it and pray. I just tell him, you know what, don't do it or do it. But that day he didn't use the word do or don't do. He just said, you never know until you try.
Mm.
I brought another excuse. I'm like, babe, do you know that I'm working, like it's gonna take my time and a lot of all that? And he said, just give it a try. You never know how high you can fly until you
Mm.
spread out and take off. And that's for me. I went back to the room, I knelt down, I said, God, I'm just surrendering this to you. Take charge. Now I'm coming to the platform and saying, ooh, I have to be out there. I was introverted, I was shy, I was everything you could talk about, because me, I was never comfortable even with my own voice, never comfortable even with seeing my own picture. I didn't have no picture from high school or university days. Like, I hated taking pictures. Social media, I wasn't even there. Like, I had no presence there. For me, it was huge,
Mm.
taking me out of my comfort zone. I sat
Mm.
down with them like, what did I get myself into?
Wow.
How do I get here? And I
Mm.
realized something. It'll take the grace of God for people to just stick with you and just watch your picture, read your post, and all that. It takes the favor of God for someone to even watch 1 minute video online.
Mm.
People are so obsessed with their problem that
Mm.
you are not even, significant. So if you're not a solution to them, if you're not online, sometimes they're for women, they're there to the recipe, styles, fashion, and all that, yada yada yada. If you're not all that they want, you're not relevant to them. So
Mm.
I realize I am not the attention here. Like, I shouldn't make myself the center of everyone's, because they all have their own life. And soon I realized this. I shook off the shackles. I'm like, I can't hold myself bound, because
Mm.
I was just trying to be in that bubble, like telling myself a lot of negative things, like all the limiting beliefs. You can't do it. Like, that out there is very toxic, a lot of things. But I never experienced the toxicity, but rather I found my purpose online. I
Mhm.
found a platform where I could have a voice.
Mhm.
I found that I had more to give out other than what I just thought I know. I found that I can break free from the norms of, my parents telling me go to school, work, and all that.
Mhm.
Fulfillment, I tell people, doesn't come from, you doing something for yourself. It comes from the feedback from people, the satisfaction they get from the
Yes.
platform, from the opportunity you've given them. And that made me, I just spread my wings and I flew.
You flew. Super excited for you, Sonia. Super excited for you. You know, your story is so inspiring. So if you're watching this and you're someone who's shy, this is the reason why we do this, guys. I bring someone on, and I kind of walk you through their journey. It takes something to inspire you. So maybe you have been seeing these ads and you're inspired, but you haven't started yet. The hardest part is always to start. The hardest part is always, to start. And the doubt, the skepticism, the fear, all of those things are natural. We all face them in the beginning, but we overcame them. We found some way. Environment is so important. Before we came live, I was just talking to Sanya, and I remember maybe 2 years ago I met her, and she was this shy person who didn't even want to turn on the camera. Didn't want even to turn on the camera. And today, guys, she's running a successful online business. Like, it's incredible, what your environment can do. When you're surrounded with people who wants to win. You do not have to have the belief in the beginning, right? Sometimes you have to borrow other people's beliefs in the beginning. You look at, Sonia today, and you look at myself, or you look at other people, and you say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too. And that's the whole idea, of these go lives, is just to let you know, that, it's possible for you if you're watching, and stuff like that. I want to shout out to Al Shane, a viewer who is watching. That's so true. Thank you so much, Al Shane, my brother, for watching. You know, um, Let me just get rid of that and dive right into the last question that I have for Sonia tonight, which is, how's the business going so far? How is your life different today? 3 years ago, this shy person, was unsure. How is your life different today? How is the business going? How is your life different today?
Oh wow. I tell people most times, sometimes when I'm talking about the business, once I open my mouth, I'm like, ooh, it flows. I'm like, where did I start it from? Sometimes my husband would tell me, I don't even recognize you anymore. I'm like, you did
Mm,
this. Because if you didn't push me, I won't be, who I am and what I am right now.
mm,
I'll still be burnout. I'll still be tired. I'll still be exhausted. I'll still have no life. Like I still have a meaningless, like without purpose anyway. Because more like
mm,
I am trading my time. I'm trading myself for the money. But deep inside there wasn't any fulfillment. So far for me, from how different I'm gonna go from the back right now. My life have is so different now because I found out that most times as I want to do a video, I just ask God. I don't just want, people who just want to do something. I just want people who are driven for your
mm.
purpose. People whose goal is just not about the freedom, but then what do we do with the freedom? Who are
Yes.
going to use their platform to spread the gospel to the ends of the world. And that is my
Mm,
super purpose. And most times, trust me, like 90% of the time, I find out that people who are hungry for that kind of change are those that might, resonate with. And it has been a whole different story. Trying to see people always telling you, thank you for bringing the opportunity. Like, if you didn't even put the ad out there, I won't be who I am. And that is just one of the things that kind of bring me so most times to tears. And I tell God, thank you that you didn't let me use my own limiting belief to steal or take that thing because sometimes we pray
wow.
for bread and God
Mm,
give us the flour, the whole thing to make
mm,
the batter. And we said, God, this is not how I want it. I want
mm,
it ready made. So most times people don't want to go through the process, but the
mm,
process is where you become.
mhm,
Because without a becoming, there won't be you. Because
mm.
you don't go through the tides before you get to your destination. You will not
Yes.
value it. It
Wow.
don't make any sense to you. So
Mhm,
far for me, the business is going on well. The financial aspect is there. We've done a lot of projects that we didn't know we could ever, do. One thing else that kind of stood out for me is the fact that I did come from the corporate 9 to 5, the full-time shift and all that. Like I never know that there's a kind of figure you make in a month. You wonder, like, come on, where am I coming from? You know, you ask yourself, is this normal? Like I've gotten to that point where I see them and I ask God, I am, thankful. It
mhm,
made me expand my dream, expand
mhm,
my goal to the possibilities of what life can offer you. only if you are ready to take the leap of faith. Because a lot of times we come on with these challenges, and most times people come from their pain points, from the past experiences. And
Mhm.
I tell you, pull down the past. This is the present.
Mhm.
One, take your time to do the due diligence, to find out for yourself. Forget the naysayers, because a lot of time people will project their negativity to you,
Yes.
based on their own experience or based on their own pain. Put that aside and find out for yourself. Is it legitimate? For me, that was the question I was asking. Is it legitimate? Is this something I pay tax on? Is this something that aligns with my value? Because with my career, I can't do anything that is illegitimate because all those things are not are something that's going to affect my license and all that. When you ask yourself that question, is my line going according to your God's purpose, not just
Mhm.
what I want?
Wow.
Am I walking in that line? I tell people, if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Nothing
And you
changes.
do not have to be great to start. You have to start
To
to.
be great. Wow, inspiring. You started off and you said, you prayed a prayer, and then God is doing all these amazing things, and you're asking God now. We serve a big God, right?
Yeah.
The other day we were on a meeting, and coach, our coach in the community, Coach Dave, said, some of us do not have because we do not ask,
Mm,
right? Some of us do not have because we do not ask. And some of the things, time to Sonia, is that you prayed, God showed you the opportunity, you took action.
yeah.
Sometimes we prayed, God showed us the opportunity, and we do nothing with it. Because as you said, it may not come in the form as how we want it. We don't get the bread. We get the materials to make the bread, right? But we're waiting to get the bread, and we continue to wait, and we missed out an incredible, opportunity. Guys, you have been listening, to Sonia, very inspiring story. I want to shout out to Kadeen. Thank you so much for watching. She's inspired by what you're saying. Super fired up. So, how do people who are watching, get to start this online business? How do they start? What are the steps? That if somebody is watching and they're saying, hey, you know what? I want to start this online business that Jermaine and Sonia is doing. How would they know more about that, Sonia?
Okay, so for everything in life, there are processes, okay? And like I tell people, do not cut corners. Anything you want to do, you want to take your time to find out the processes and go through it. And that's what's going to make you who you are. So the first step is you're going to see the website to register. Trust me, just register, watch the complimentary webinar. When you watch it, you have an informed, it makes you have all the information and you make an informed decision, okay? Now, when you watch the webinar, take action, take
Mm,
action, because when you take action, the juice and the goal and the whole, the eyes on the prize in the taking action. Because when you do, you are exposed to the entire community, you're exposed to all the business entails. Then you can take your time and see the bigger picture and ask yourself, does this align with me? Can I run with this? Is there purpose in it? Because you're going
mm,
to see people whose dreams, whose life are similar to yours. We're not different from you. If you're parents, we all have the same pain point, like nothing different from what you have. But you know what? We took action. Like every one of you will have the same feeling, the same, skepticism, fear of the unknown and all that. And that's just the way God has designed us. So if we can do it, you too can. And thank God there's what we call, starting on the fence. When you jump out of that fence, you see the diamond and the gold we're talking about.
wow, you become somebody that you didn't even know you were. Your husband don't even recognize you. That's what this transforming business can do for you. This is what God can do in your life, right? But you have to come out of the limiting beliefs. Stop trying to reason it out logically in your own mind, because it won't make any sense to you, right? Sometimes we don't have to understand the how, right? We just have to start with the why. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As she said, the first step is to register. Go to either of our websites. If you're seeing it on her page, you can go to her website. My website is www.jermainrlewis.com. Register with your name and your valid email address, guys, so we can send you the necessary information for you to watch the workshop, and to get started with your very own online business. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you tune in live, Al Shane, Kadeen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're gonna be seen on the replay, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Until then, next week I will have another guest, sharing their journey. you know, of this incredible online business opportunity. All right. So thank you so much. Cheers and have a good night.